Hey, there's a camera here.
Whoa, check that out.
I like it. It's small.
It is very small.
Hey, guys. Ep.10 Show, episode 10. I'm Adam.
I'm Bryan. On this episode, we're going to be premiering 2 new 500 series modules from a company called Meris, founded by Terry Burton, who started Strymon effects pedals.
Strymon?
Yeah.
New effects?
New things, 500 series modules.
Can't wait. I want to see this. I'm going to check out 2 pedals that John Cusack of Cusack Effects gave us, his tremolo and his new delay. They're both in smaller packages. Can't wait to see what they have in store for us.
Well, I'm going to head on down to Plethertone Studios and put these modules through their paces. Adam's going to head over to NAMM, hang out with the Cusack folks, and we're going to bring them back here for a full demo.
Let's do it.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Ep.10 Show. We're back for a new episode, and we are here today at the illustrious Plethertone Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm here with the sole proprietors and resident hermits, Chris Brush.
Hello.
And Mr. Mark Lang.
Hi.
We're fortunate enough today to be demoing the entire product line from Meris, a new company that was started by the founder of Strymon guitar pedals. They've sent us both of their units, the Ottobit and the 440 mic pre. We're going to be putting them through their paces and comparing them to some other illustrious outboard gear. Up first is going to be the 440 mic pre. And what you'll notice immediately on it is its sleek white design with black knobs. So you have a nice contrast. Everything is very clearly labeled on the faceplate. Let's just go through the various controls one by one. Obviously the big one and the most important is your gain. You have an output. You have a 20 dB pad that can engage or disengage. You have a phase switch. You also have phantom that you can activate. And you have these two, which are very interesting. Here is just a simple high-pass filter. You can engage it at 80 or at 200, and if you put it in the middle, it's bypassed. If you're using a ribbon mic for some acoustic types of sounds and you want to add a little more air on the top end, you can use a high shelf boost, either at 4K or at 7K. In the middle, again, is bypassed. Interesting thing about the design of this mic pre is that it has a send and return for an effects loop. So if you're recording an acoustic guitar but you want to use your favorite reverb or a delay or something from your pedal board, you can actually send line levels out and in without overdriving your pedals and still get a clean signal on the way back. So as we put it through its paces, what do you think about putting it through some different mic pre's as well so we can compare and contrast the way that it sounds?
That's a great idea. That'll really be effective too, so we'll get a sense of what Meris has done compared to the things we know.
Exactly. All right, so what do you think the mic pre's that we should use? Obviously, we have a lot to choose from here.
Boy, we sure do. Let's see, how about Chandler Germanium?
The germanium channelers, cool.
Yep, Germanium Chandler. How about the UA610?
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, LA610 Mark II.
Maybe a 73?
Yeah, X73i from Vintech Audio. That's a great one too.
Okay, and we also have the, you have those John Hardys.
Yeah, the twin servos. Those are beauties.
And the Benchmark.
There's Benchmark too.
Okay, that's plenty. And I think let's pull some signal off the board.
Oh, AM16, yes.
Langevin.
Langevin AM16, classic, 1965, transformer coupled. That'll be a bomb.
I gotta admit, I'm a little nervous. 440's in some pretty stiff competition.
But
you're going to demo bass?
I will. How about you, guitar?
I'll do guitar.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sounds great.
I can do drums.
Master, I am puzzled.
Because the 440 has input and output Cinemag transformers, what we're going to do now is do a full example of adjusting the input and output gain controls. To make sure that it's a level playing field for the 440, we're going to reamp the signal into the various mic pre's. So what you're going to be hearing is literally the exact same sound file. Any coloration that you perceive is going to be the result of what is inherent in each of the mic pre's.
Check it, bleed. Bro was on. Didn't trip, but the folks was freaking, man. Hey, the pilots were laid to the bone, home. So blood hammering out and jam, Jim. Shit. Tighten that bad sucker side the runway like a mother. Shit.
Hey, now we're going to take the Meris and we're going to put it through its paces, as we've done all day, with the bass. We're going to put it directly in. Diod over here, if you can get a shot of that. Then we're going to have Mark over here play the bass.
One of the things that we noticed when plugging directly in, especially with the bass, is that the gain is inactive completely. So go ahead and play a little something, Mark. So there's absolutely no benefit of this knob at this point. It's inactive. So all your gain is going to be coming from your output. Another thing we noticed is when you're running direct is that the high pass filters and the shelf boosts are also completely disengaged.
That's almost AM16 sound-ish. It's brighter.
I like the hair on it. I mean, like, I'd take that all day. I'd even take that as a clean sound, honestly. Because it's not so screwed up. You know?
So distorted.
That's really great. Okay, cool.
So what we thought might be nice is to see how the 440 handles really quick transients like a drum. So what we did is we had Chris set up in the other room and we taped two 57s right next to each other, and we're going to A-B them with a
Ventec X73i.
Right, so the 440 is going to be A-Bing between those two, and it's basically pointed right at Chris's crotch, isn't it?
Roger that.
Crotch mics, here we go.
Knock yourself a pro slick. The gray matter back, lot performers down, not take TCB in, man.
Hey, you know what they say? See a broad to get that booty yak 'em? Leg her down or smack 'em, yak 'em. Cold got to be. Yo, shit.
So final thoughts on what you thought about the Meris?
Hey, you know, I thought it did a real decent job. We've got a lot of equipment here, over 50 different preamps to choose from. And man, the Meris really did a decent job hanging with all of them. It's not perfect for everything, but then no preamp is perfect for everything. And it did a really, really nice job, I thought. I like it.
Yeah, and I didn't have any expectations at all because it's a new pre and I didn't know where it was going to sit on the color spectrum. Super colored, super transparent. Where are we going to land on this? And it was nice to find that we could get a little bit of everything. Not too transparent and not too overly colored, but somewhere in the middle, so you had a good wiggle room where you could color your tone and you could make it sound saturated and really poppy, and then other times you could sort of clean it out a little bit and still have it to where it was going to sit in the mix nicely.
I definitely expect it to be, especially at the price point, a kind of a one-trick pony, and it surprised me. It's got some things that allow you to dial in whatever tone you were talking about, like you had. Like it fared differently on your chordal material versus the more one-string dynamic stuff. And
Yeah,
I really was impressed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I like the way it sounded on bass too. You know, especially after we bypassed the DI and just went in as a true pre.
Yeah, if there's going to be any part of it that there's a shortcoming on, that's going to be, and you know, you can't, at that price point, you can't do everything. Most of our preamps that have DIs, they go through the entire signal path from the front panel. That's just what they're designed to do as a whole. And this one, even though there's a DI there, it's you
Pretty
know,
much just the gain.
yeah,
That's all
it's
you get.
it's
Yeah.
it's just going to match you up for the output. So if you for a bass player, keyboard player, whatnot, having a DI box to use to go into it as a full
Front end,
preamp, yeah, then you'd be set to roll.
Yeah, it was cool because you could get it to where it sounded just sort of, polite, and then you could get it with a lot of hair on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was cool.
Yeah,
Kinda
I
like the way
agree.
it sounded.
Really good mid-range to everything. I like the way it was represented. It was very, very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel that it responded to the transients when you were in there whacking away on the kit?
I'd say it was the same thing. Actually, I heard the mid-range really well represented. It wasn't very. I mean, some of that's my placement, but it wasn't very honky. It wasn't super scooped. It was just everything was there. The transient felt fat, but also slappy. Had a little bit of that rounded color thing to it. It was nice all around.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, overall, I think they did a really good job.
I think they did.
Good job, guys.
Thumbs up, Meris.
Yeah.
How about a nice game of chess?
Welcome to the Ottobit section of the show. We're going to be putting this 500 series unit through its paces, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview as to how it's going to take place. We're going to start off by giving you some Shakespeare dialogue to chew on, and then we'll move right along into 3 different drum kits. One's going to be a normal kit, normal production for pop rock. Next one will be a tighter kit for R&B, and the last one will be a completely electronic kit that I've sort of assembled from various kits that I like. So lots of different loops to choose from. You'll see it on the screen as to when the kits actually change. And what I was amazed by is how well the Ottobit responds to the various kits. And then finally, I'm going to give you a little bit of a note-for-note recreation of the epic 70s Uber jam from Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs. So here we go. Before we start, what is this Ottobit? Well, the folks at Meris basically designed it from the ground up as a unique processor, targeted at enabling musicians and producers to transform their audio through a dynamic maze of vintage video game textures, classic mod synth elements, and really beyond. It's really applicable to the everyday work of electronic musicians and producers, and it's a lot more than just a bit crusher. Let me give you a couple of differentiating features that it has. It has a flexible sample rate decimation with a tap tempo, and it's controlled multi-shaped LFO and triggered envelope modifiers. It has a unique ring modulator with parallel blendable AM and FM modulation paths, optional pitch tracking, and selectable wave shape. Variable bit reduction with user-controlled gain and mix, 100% analog bypass, and it's manufactured in the good old USA, right in Los Angeles. So with that in mind, let's hear what this thing sounds like.
Worldlings do, giving thy sum of more to that which had too much. Then, being there alone, left and abandoned of his velvet friends, "'Tis right," quoth he, "thus misery doth part the flux of company. Anon, a careless herd full of the pasture jumps along by him and never stays to greet him. Aye," quoth Jacobs, "sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens, 'tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there?"
Okay, so as our resident studio guy here, what did you feel about the Ottobit? Because I'm certainly out of my league with this thing.
Well, to be honest, I felt like I was a little bit out of the league too. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with this unit, and on a scale of 1 to 10, you can go from 1 to 10 in a very quick time when you adjust sample rates and bit rates. And when you go from AM to FM, when you do the LFOs, when you do the different waveforms that you can, I mean, there's so much packed into this little 500 unit that you can seriously decimate some signal really, really quickly.
Yeah.
That said, I think it's a really useful studio tool in small bits, no pun intended.
Yeah, or pun intended.
Or maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can really add some unique effects that would be relatively hard to get with the standard bit crusher or some other type of decimator of signal. And this one was well thought out. There's a lot of things in there, but one of the things that stumped both you and I on numerous occasions was the bypass light.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, yeah.
So the LED lights up when the unit is bypassed. And when you turn it off and it goes dark, that means the unit is active, which is totally counterintuitive to guitar players. The other thing is recalling the settings, I think, would be challenging.
But I liked your idea on this.
Have some indented knobs.
I liked that, where you can quickly recall the settings.
Right. Yep. And maybe in a future version, I don't know how they would be able to do this, but if they could, in an ideal world, you'd have a MIDI I/O.
That's a great idea.
Where you could, or store a preset. Overall, scale of 1 to 10, so far as tonal possibilities, I would rate it at a 10. I think it's great. I think it's a great value. But again, you use this in small doses.
Very small doses. This is a producer's tool to me.
Don't take this to the Bette Midler gig. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
You will not be the wing beneath her wings.
Yeah.
It's that powerful.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I had a lot of fun. with it. Well, that does it for another episode of the Ep.10 Show.
A big shout out to the folks at Meris for hooking us up with those products to demo. We had a great time with those. And their web address is Meris, MERIS.us.com. That'll take you directly to their page.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
We've got other stuff in the works. We've got more episodes coming, so be sure to like us on Facebook. Share it with as many people as you can so we know that you like what we're doing, and we'll continue to do that. And we'll be back shortly.
Know your tone. See you guys.
Shit, man. That hunky muff be messing my old lady? Got to be running coal upside down his head, you know?
Hey, home, I can dig it. No, he ain't gonna lay no more big rap up on you, man.
I say, hey, Sky. Something say I won't sing? Pray to Jay, I did the same old, same old.
Hey, knock yourself a pro, slick. The gray matter back, lot performers down, not take TCB in, man.
Hey, you know what they say? See a broad to get that booty yak 'em? Leg her down or smack 'em, yak 'em. Cold got to be. You know? Shit.